Hey everyone, it's RM. A lot of people ask me how I learned English, and I always say the same thing. My English teacher was the sitcom Friends. Yeah, my English teacher was Friends. I didn't study abroad. I never lived in America. I just sat in my room in Korea and watched the same show over and over. And today I want to tell you exactly how I did it. Because if I can do it, you can too. It all started when I was around 14 or 15. Back then in Korea, there was this trend. All parents were making their kids watch Friends. It was almost like a syndrome. My mom bought me all 10 seasons on DVD. And you know what I thought back then? I felt like a victim. I thought, why do I need this? I'll never go to America. Why do I need English? But now I say, right now, I'm the lucky one thanks to my mother. Because those DVDs changed my life. Here's what I did. I watched every single episode 3 times in 3 different ways. The first time with Korean subtitles. I just followed the story, got to know the characters, understood the context. The second time with English subtitles. Now I could see the words I was hearing. I could connect the sound to the spelling. The third time with no subtitles at all. Just my ears, just English. Man, I repeated that again and again. I watched the entire series dozens of times. You know what I did while watching? I didn't just sit and stare. I repeated after them. I listened to how Chandler talked, and I tried to talk like him. I listened to Ross and copied his intonation. I tried to catch their rhythm, their emotions, their jokes. It's called shadowing. I didn't know that term back then. I just did it instinctively. I repeated out loud. I moved my lips. I used my voice, even if it sounded silly, even if I made mistakes. Because when you listen and speak at the same time, your brain starts to think in that language. You stop translating in your head. You just speak. I also wrote down idioms in a notebook. I translated them into Korean. I memorized them. I used them when I talked to myself. I learned one important thing. A lot of people think I can just speak good English whenever I want, but my English is actually terrible. Yeah, I actually said that because it's true. If I don't speak English for a month, I lose a lot. I met Halsey once and couldn't really talk properly. I couldn't quickly translate my thoughts into English. I feel like you forget the language if you don't use it often, unless you've studied or lived there. That's why I keep learning every day. You know, I even taught English to my friends in BTS. We called it 1-minute English. One time I taught Jungkook the word pardon. I explained, you can use it in different situations. For example, when someone says something crazy, you can pretend you didn't hear and say pardon. It's a polite way to say what? Or even, are you serious? And I gave him an example. I asked, if I asked you to lend me the shirt you're wearing, what would you say? And he replied, pardon? And I said, see, it works. Because language isn't just words, it's culture, it's communication, it's how you connect with people. You know, I'm not perfect. My English isn't perfect. And that's okay. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to practice. Find something you love. A movie, a show, music, a podcast, anything. Watch it, listen to it, repeat after them, every single day. I watched Friends dozens of times, and it worked. I'm not saying you have to watch Friends. Find your friends. Find what interests you. Because if you're interested, you'll keep doing it. And if you keep doing it, you'll learn the language. Friends really had a big hand in teaching me English. And I believe you have a friend that will help you too. Just start and don't stop. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next lesson.